Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking at the heathen, but are not by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who are suffering under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalio, and this video is about World War III and this US and Israeli military integration situation. Alright, so firstly in the scriptures, it states in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14, the second woe is past, talking about World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And the third woe is World War III, and it is here. Okay? This got to be World War III. Okay? According to Esau, their definition of what a world war would be, it's a bit ambiguous, right? But you have America, the State of Israel, Iran, right? And then, recently, what has happened? Saudi Arabia has joined US strikes on Iraq, okay, to assault Iranian targets. And then you have as well that Jordan was hit, okay, by, I believe, Iran, okay, which were on US bases. And then you have Ukraine has entered the fray regarding this war between the State of Israel, America, and Iran. Ukraine has attacked Iranian vessels, okay, putting Russia on notice because Russia has a skirmish going on with Ukraine, and now you have Ukraine attacking Iran's vessels or whatever. So it's only a matter of time before Russia enters into it. And Ezekiel 38 lets us know that Russia's a guard unto its allies, and Iran is its top ally, Iran, which was known as Persia. So you have, let's go over it, America, the State of Israel, Iran, Ukraine, Saudi Arabia, and Lebanon has been a part of this as well, right? Hezbollah. Yeah, in Lebanon. Okay. So you have many countries that are involved in this war, World War III. All right, and then even here 10 hours ago, Iraq's person says response to US Saudi attack inevitable. So it just keeps on building up, man. It's not slowing down at all. All right, just 2 hours ago, Iraq PMF US Saudi strikes. Saudi Arabia joins US strikes. What else is here? Well, of course, just skirmishes, right? Like the State of Israel against Lebanon, the State of Israel against Gaza, okay, and then Ukraine and Russia. Those are skirmishes, but the main war is the war that was started by the State of Israel against Iran, which them drawing out America to go to war is Bible prophecy. All right. In the book of Jeremiah 15 verse 45, it says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon, which is America, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is talking about the Israelis. They shall draw out Babylon, which is America. surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So we all witnessed it for months upon months that the leader of the state of Israel was, reports were constantly coming out that he was urging Trump to deal with the situation of Iran. And so the state of Israel has drawn out America to go to this war against Iran. And now this war has been going on for months. And now more nations are joining in, and more nations are going to join in. Russia is going to join in fully soon, right? Because the main war, World War III, is going to be happening in the so-called Middle East, Western Asia, right? According to the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 20, all right? Where it says, Joel 2 and verse 20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, which is America, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, which is the land of Saudi Arabia, with his face toward the east sea, the Euphrates river, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, the Red Sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. All right, so that's the area of contention. That's where World War III is going to take place. All right, so it has started. The state of Israel has drawn out America to go to war, and it's going back and forth, and more nations are starting to join. So Russia is going to join over there in the so-called Middle East. You're going to have Turkey joining. You're going to have, which is going to be aligned with Russia, breaking off from NATO, joining Russia and Iran. You're going to have the so-called African nations jumping in as well. Okay? Things are heating up. So, and his stink, and so we're hearing, right? And his stink shall come up, and his savor shall come up. We're hearing that military personnel are perishing over there in Western Asia. All right, because they're going to lose the war. We already know the result. In Jeremiah 15 verse 45, it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So the state of Israel is going to draw out America to go to war, and they're going to lose this war. They're going to lose World War III against Russia, Iran, and that side. That's Bible prophecy. All right, and so we're seeing the Lord build up towards the fulfillment of it. All right, towards Armageddon. But before Armageddon, the mark of the beast prophecy, which is American chip, is going to have to take place. Because once Armageddon gets rolling, at the end of it is going to be the launching of the missiles towards America to destroy America. And there's a judgment for our people in America who take the mark of the beast, which is American chip. So that prophecy has to be fulfilled first. All right, now with all of this that's going on, you have this news that came out regarding U.S. and Israeli military integration centers on the proposed United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative, featured as Section 219 in the House version of the fiscal year 2027 National Defense Authorization Act. And so it's been like this for how many years? Decades? That America is set to defend and protect the state of Israel. Okay? So now what they're doing is that they're strengthening ties. It's not, according to the news, it's not a merge, right, of the two national command structures, but it definitely is a very strong strengthening of military ties. Okay? Can listen to it here.
A massive defense spending bill, historically large at $1.15 trillion for the Pentagon, has just passed in the U.S. House of Representatives. And buried inside this bill, the NDAA, as it's known, is something that's getting a lot of attention, an effort to deepen the military cooperation between the United States and Israel in unprecedented ways, binding the country's two militaries even more closely together. If it goes into effect, the Pentagon would appoint a so-called executive agent to synchronize the cooperation with Israel across different areas, including missile defense, drones, AI, and more. It would combine research efforts, development, testing, and integration into U.S. military programs. Essentially, this would move beyond just sending Israel American-made weapons. Instead, it would move towards building defense technology together. And all of this at a time when public support for Israel here in the U.S. has fallen sharply. That's according to public polling. And it has created...
Yeah, so at a time really when World War III is going on. All right. Times are hot, man. Times are very hot. So y'all see what it is, man. 2 Ezra 13 and verse 31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And this is World War III, right? Nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, right? As Yahushua said that we'd see before his return. And so we're in the time of the beginning of sorrows, man. So buckle up and pray without ceasing. Because right now, the way how things are and the way how things are escalating, anything can truly pop off at any moment right now. Okay? And let's not forget, with the war going on, the multiple ramifications of it. Okay? Let's not forget that. With the crisis at hand of fuel, oil, gas, water, food, resources. All right? Perplexity, as the scriptures say. A lack of resources. In Luke 21 and verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon, and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity the sea and the waves roar. So let's go to the word perplexity here at G640. The Greek word is aporia, right? Break it down further at G39, aporio, to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt. So to be without resources, to be in straits. Okay? This is what is coming upon the world, man. Great judgment from Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And war brings calamity and severe distress upon the world. Then we can take a look at what happened during World War I and World War II. But this World War III is the last and final war, okay, that is going to be happening like this. All right. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakodesh. Shalom.